Oh, hey. Hi. Welcome back. Welcome to the Anti-Study Study Club. This is David from Core Language, and I'm happy to see you again. Hey, I promised that I would have some more comics, some more comic strips, and I have one for you today. This is a very, very famous cat, another cat, a cat that I think you might recognize. Do you know this cat? This is Garfield. And Garfield was created by a cartoonist named Jim Davis. And so today we're going to look at Garfield. What do you know about Garfield? You might know a few things about him. One thing you know is that he is always hungry and he likes to eat. So we're going to talk about Garfield and we're going to talk a little bit about food. Okay, let's go. Let's go with the Garfield comic. All right, so we said that Garfield's always hungry. He's happy to eat anything. He will eat whatever you give him. Here he's eating his cat food. His owner's name is John, and John is eating a hamburger. Garfield is eating his cat food. So he'll eat anything. He'll eat anything you give him, but he prefers to eat certain foods. He doesn't prefer to eat cat food. He prefers to eat people food, human food. Here he's eating a very big sandwich. Sometimes people call this long sandwich a submarine or a sub. You can make it short. He's eating a sub. Maybe you go to Subway, right? That's where that comes from, the submarine sandwich. So he's eating the sub. His favorite food is lasagna. So do you know lasagna? Lasagna is an Italian dish, and it's made with layers of pasta and tomato sauce, usually some beef or pork and cheese. So this is his favorite dish, lasagna. Have you tried lasagna? It's quite good, but it's not normal for a cat to eat lasagna, but this is what Garfield prefers. This is his preference. This is a thing that he would choose if he could. If he could eat anything, he would probably eat lasagna. So here Garfield is enjoying his lasagna. That's a very cheesy dish. Do you see those strings of cheese? So you could describe lasagna as being cheesy. Cheesy, just put a Y at the end. It's a cheesy dish. If you're enjoying the food, the pleasure of eating, the taste, Garfield likes the taste of tomato sauce and pasta and cheese and meat. So if you enjoy it, then you could say you are indulging in the pleasure of eating. He is indulging in lasagna right now in this picture. He's not indulging in the salad. You see the salad next to him. Maybe he doesn't like salad, I don't know, but he is indulging in the lasagna right now. So to indulge in something is to enjoy something because it's pleasurable. It feels good. It feels nice. I like to indulge in chocolate sometimes. I really like chocolate. So every once in a while I have some chocolate and I indulge in a piece of chocolate. Maybe you indulge in, I don't know, coffee, or maybe you indulge in a Starbucks coffee sometimes. Maybe you indulge in ice cream. It's something that you enjoy. You enjoy the pleasure of drinking or eating. So you can use that word indulge. So here, Garfield is indulging in lasagna, his favorite food. But Garfield will eat almost anything. And here we see him indulging in all kinds of food. If you eat too much, then you would be overindulging. Here, Garfield is overindulging. He's eating everything and too much of everything. So to indulge is to enjoy something, but if it's too much, now you are overindulging, and maybe that's not so healthy for Garfield. If you overindulge, maybe you'll become very sleepy. Here's Garfield taking a nap after overindulging. It looks like he had donuts and pizza and a cupcake and probably some Coca-Cola or something. So yeah, I think I would be taking a nap too. If you become so tired after you eat, you could say, I had a big meal and then I crashed. I crashed. So here he is crashing from overindulging. He's crashing from eating too much. Does that ever happen to you? If you have a big meal and then after you're so tired, right? You can say, I'm kind of crashing from eating too much, from overindulging. Okay, maybe after a big meal like this, you need a cup of coffee so you don't feel sleepy. I love coffee. Are you a fan of coffee? Do you enjoy coffee? I like it. Although today I'm not drinking coffee. This is tea. I have some green tea in my mug. I do like coffee. If you like something a lot, you can say you are enthusiastic about it. You're an enthusiast, a coffee enthusiast, someone who really likes coffee. But I'll drink coffee, I'll drink tea, I'll have both. I'm a fan of both. I enjoy both. I indulge in a cup of coffee. I indulge in some nice tea. So you can use words like that. Garfield is a fan of coffee. He is a coffee enthusiast. But I think he also needs the coffee, especially in the morning. Garfield wakes up and he is not ready to talk to anyone. He's not ready to go to work. He's not ready to do anything until he has his coffee, until he drinks his coffee. Why? Because coffee has a drug in it, right? The drug is caffeine, and caffeine makes you feel awake. It makes you feel alert. It helps you wake up, right? So here Garfield is pouring his coffee in the morning. He looks very tired. He's not ready to talk to anyone. He looks like he drinks that coffee pretty quickly. I don't usually drink coffee this fast, but Garfield really needs that caffeine, I think. And then he says here, when the coffee goes down, the eyelids, here's your eyelids, the eyelids go up. So the coffee wakes him up. It helps him feel alert, helps him feel awake. Do you drink coffee for this reason? Do you drink coffee so you can feel awake, so you can wake up? I know people who, if they don't drink coffee, if they don't drink their coffee, you don't want to talk to them. They're not happy people until they drink their coffee. So I think Garfield is one of these people. Don't talk to Garfield until he has had his coffee, right? All right, so let's look at a longer comic here. We have Garfield and his owner, John. And Garfield wakes up and says, "Oh boy, it is chilly this morning. It's chilly. It's chilly this morning." Chilly means it's a little cold. Chilly is a word I used if it's a little bit cold. It's not freezing cold, but it's still pretty cold. So that's a word I would use. It's chilly. Oof, it's chilly this morning. This is October, and maybe where you live, the weather is becoming more chilly, right? It's autumn, and in many parts of the world, autumn is when the weather starts to become a little bit cold, right? Especially at night. So, or in the morning, early in the morning. So he says, "Oh boy, it is chilly this morning." So you see him doing some strange things with his coffee here. He is splashing that coffee on his face. I don't know why, to wake him up, to warm him up, maybe. Then he's sipping it. That's a sip. A sip is a small drink. He's sipping his coffee. And then he's gargling his coffee. What is gargling? It's a funny word, right? He's gargling his coffee. I'll demonstrate a gargle. That's a gargle. That's a gargle right there. Uh, strange to gargle your tea, but that's what Garfield is doing with his coffee. Strange cat. And then, oop, gulp is like swallowing. So now he's swallowing his coffee. And he seems a little bit happier here. He says, "That feels so warm." It is warm, right? It's a warm beverage. And then he gets into the coffee. He starts to put his body into the coffee. He's sitting in the coffee mug. It's a pretty big coffee mug, right? And he says, "Ah." So it feels good, nice and warm on a chilly day. His owner, John, says, "You really enjoy your coffee, don't you, Garfield?" Maybe he enjoys it too much, right? He enjoys it too much. Okay, let's do a quick review of what we talked about. Garfield is often hungry. He's a hungry cat. And he will eat just about anything. He'll eat cat food if you give him cat food. But he doesn't prefer cat food. It's not his first choice. It's not his preference. He would rather eat something like a submarine sandwich. He would rather eat something like this. But his favorite food, his most favorite food is this. He really likes lasagna. Lasagna is made with layers of pasta, some meat, some tomato sauce, and a lot of cheese. It's a very cheesy dish. So Garfield will indulge in lasagna whenever he can, whenever possible. It is his preference, it's his first choice. He likes to indulge in lasagna. He'll eat anything, though, really, and he likes to eat a lot, so he often overindulges in food. He overindulges in many kinds of food. Here he's eating, oh, it looks like everything in the kitchen, right? He's overindulging. If you overindulge, you might feel pretty sleepy. You might crash. You might crash after you eat. After overindulging, you will start to feel very tired. And here he's taking a nap after overindulging. He has crashed from eating too much. To wake up, you might need a beverage like coffee. Coffee has caffeine, and caffeine is the drug in coffee that helps us wake up. So in our cartoon, Garfield pours his morning coffee. He looks very tired. He drinks his coffee very quickly, and then he says when the coffee goes down into his body, the eyelids go up. It wakes him up. It makes him feel alert. It makes him feel awake. So he enjoys indulging in coffee whenever he can. In our comic strip, Garfield wakes up and says, "It's chilly. It's a little bit cold this morning." Oh boy, is it chilly this morning? It's quite cold. And so he does some crazy things with his coffee. He splashes the coffee on his face. He sips the coffee. Sipping is a small drink. That's a sip. That's a sip. Gargling is something I never do with my coffee, but gargling you might do if you have a sore throat, right? If you have a sore throat, maybe you use some hot water with salt and you gargle. But he's gargling his coffee. Crazy. But this is what he's doing to feel, I guess, more warm. He gulps his coffee. He gulps his coffee. Gulp. Swallows his coffee. And then he gets into his coffee. He goes into his very large coffee mug because it's very warm. The coffee is warm and it makes him feel warm on a chilly day. So he's sitting in his coffee mug. And then his owner says, "You really enjoy your coffee, don't you, Garfield?" And there you see Garfield sitting in his mug. And there you go. That's our Garfield comic for today. Garfield overindulging, doing some silly things. He is a strange cat. If you have a cat, maybe your cat does some strange things. If you have a cat, tell me the strange things that your cat does. You can write that in the comments if you want. What are the weird things, the strange things, the bizarre things that your cat does? I don't think your cat will sit in the coffee, will it? Will it? But yeah, if it does, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed our Garfield comic by Jim Davis, and I will see you next time on the Anti-Study Study Club. Thank you for joining me. This is David from Core Language. Have a great day. Indulge in your favorite beverage and stay warm if it's chilly where you are. Okay, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.